Hello, my name is Davis Graham, and I also go by the name Pencil Fingers. I use a Z at the end of my name in order to stand out on the Google search engine, and also because it makes me seem edgy. I'm not what you would call a great public speaker, so I filled my first slide with all my heroes in an attempt to make this go a whole lot smoother. I'm here because I'm an artist, and I know what you're thinking, how does this guy make any money, because his work is terrible. But this is actually drawings from my very first sketchbook when I was 7 years old. Bottom center being my very first portrait, and my mom told me I had a gift, and that's all the encouragement I needed. So as you can see, I took an interest in musicians and entertainers early on. Fast forward to high school, I continued to draw nearly every day, focusing my attention on portraits. By this time, I had created a large portfolio of a wide variety of entertainers. And with the power of the internet, that allowed me to connect with the artists that I was drawing. This, of course, was an amazing opportunity. Being 16 years old at the time, it got me comfortable being around famous people. Having the chance to give them art and receive feedback was great, but I knew I wouldn't be content until I was working alongside them. So I kept on drawing, and I kept selling portraits to make a little bit of money during school. So these are more of my recent drawings. And as you can see, the obsession with detail grew stronger, and as well as my taste in entertainers, my obsession with Nelly had faded. But I wasn't able to work for any of my idols until Chance the Rapper discovered my work. His manager, Pat, reached out to me to have a painting done for Chance. That painting is now in Chance's home in Chicago. And then at long last, Pat asked me the question I had been waiting to hear my whole life. Do you do graphic design? And so I lied and said, of course, bro. And I went out and that day and bought myself a tablet, and I tried my hand at a single cover. Paradise was the song. And they told me they loved my design, that's my design there, but it wasn't what they were looking for. And I was pretty bummed out, but R. Kelly ended up on that song anyway, so I'm not too upset about it. So with this, I did, however, keep using this new skill set of digital design. And the piece on the right that you just saw got me a job with the Underachievers, who are from Brooklyn. And since then, I have created 6 studio album covers, posters, merchandise, and much more for them. And around the same time, about a year after graduating high school, I was contacted by Alabama rapper Yellow Wolf, who is signed to Eminem's label. I worked for Yellow Wolf on a handful of designs during his tour in 2014. This included a full merchandise lineup, t-shirts, bandanas, a baby bib, and a bus wrap for his tour bus. A lot of this was a learning process because I never had any proper schooling, so failure and YouTube were my teachers. So between these 3 artists, I had created a small buzz for myself in the design community. This led to more obscure jobs, working for NBC, Complex Magazine, and even a design for country star Eric Church. I know you guys are probably, who are these guys? But you know Eric Church. Around this time, I moved to Burnaby, and early one morning, I received a phone call, and it was an emergency job opportunity, an album cover for none other than T-Pain and Lil Wayne. I agreed to it, and then I went back to sleep. And that day, I thought it was a dream that I had. But it was not a dream. And since then, I'm T-Pain's go-to design guy. And I've created 3 more project covers for him, as well as logos for his radio podcast, his YouTube series, and of course, his car drifting team. Because T-Pain's a cool guy, but you already know that. So after living in Burnaby for a couple years, I moved back to Chilliwack on Ryder Lake with my girlfriend, Steffi. That's not photoshopped. That's what Ryder Lake is like. So the city of Chilliwack had a call out for artists to paint a mural in the downtown core. I had never painted anything larger than a couple of feet, and I had never used spray paint, but with some advice from my friend Mavic, I went for it. I had originally planned to paint it in brush, but if I had, I'd still be there painting it today. Mavic convinced me to use spray paint, and in the second week I got the hang of it, and it took me a total of 15 days to complete that mural. A couple of months later, I got asked to do Watson Elementary School. And this was an amazing experience because I had all the kids come out from the classrooms and watch my design. And they helped out with it and told me what they thought could be better about it, and it was awesome. But I realized how much I enjoyed being outside and working around other people and not locked up in my little dungeon. These are more of the murals that I've done around town. I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory, and let's see here. Yeah, so a few of them were done with brushes, but the school's mostly done with spray paint, which I'm still getting comfortable using. But full circle, I got to do this at the Unofficial Embassy, which is a restaurant in town, and that I got to collaborate with the guy that taught me how to use spray paint, and that was the last mural I did before I moved back to Vancouver. And so during the first month of living in Vancouver, I've only been there for almost 3 months, I did 3 art shows over the course of a week. And at one of my art shows, I was approached by 3 guys, and they were tattoo artists. And the owner, Mendoza, asked me if I was interested in tattooing. And I said yes, only if it's the right shop, because it's hard to find a shop that I fit into. But it seemed like the right fit when I went and checked it out. And all the artists there are very encouraging and extremely enthusiastic about art. So now I'm 3 weeks into my apprenticeship, clean slate, ready to add another skill set to the arsenal. So that brings us to this present moment. Thank you for listening. And if there's anything I can leave you with tonight, it's to not get boxed in, try new things, say yes to opportunities, and then figure them out later. And if it has a surface area, chances are it'll look better with some art on it.